If you have a Google site, and many of you do, be it for your class or for your department, it might not be a bad idea to see how many people are using these resources, when, at what time, all sorts of cool stuff which you can get through Google Analytics. It only takes a couple of seconds to set it up, and I'll show you how to do it. I got a site here. I made it just for this. You have a site, etc., etc. All you need to do is go to a thing called googleanalytics.com. It will prompt you to create an account, sort of thing. If it doesn't, just click down here at the bottom where it says admin. It'll ask you to create a new account. That is not the same thing as your school account. Your school account is over here. All this is a new account associated with a site, in this case a Google site. So you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it test. I'm going to call this test as well. This is the bit where I will get now this is technically the name of the actual site. I could call it all of this without the home. I could call it with the home. You'll notice over here, it already has the HTTP business in it. So I'm going to scroll over here and just get rid of that and the 2 forward slashes. Test. It doesn't really matter what you get here. There's a job and education option here. You might want to look over this. It's all fairly straightforward. And then you just click on the Get Tracking ID. Got to accept, of course. It's going to give you this sort of embedded code stuff. I'm going to copy all of that because it's kind of hard to not just copy all of that. It looks like this. And I want to grab this UA / etc., all the digits to that. And it just looks like this. Now with this, when I'm in, this is my site. This is the version of when I'm editing my site. If you click on your 3 dots over here, you can do this with each of your, or all of your Google sites. Click on Analytics. This guy will pop up. You paste it in there, and you hit Save. And that's it. It might take a few minutes or an hour or so to sort of register, but after that, when you come back, if you only have the one site, it'll be your default. You'll immediately see some sort of graph, some kind of number. Active users, 0. But click at the top, and then you can start looking at, okay, I have multiple sites. This one's a bit different at the top because I don't own this site, but I put analytics on it. This is the Teacher Hub. Click on that. It'll change this window, and it'll show me all the cool stuff in terms of all sorts of things. Who's on it right now? Nobody. Who's been looking at it for the last 7 days? Who looked at it yesterday? Not who per se, but how many people? We've gone down 8.6%. Not a big deal. Shows you kind of cool the times of the days when people are looking at it. So this number of people, this is the sort of the darker it is, the more active in terms of that. Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Bunch of people on that thing right there. 9 o'clock p.m. Classic teacher work hours. Traffic in terms of months, where they're coming from. We got one German guy. I'm not sure who that is. Got a bunch of Romanian locations. Shows you the individual pages, which is kind of cool. Some of you have a site which has like grade 6 as a sub-site, grade 7. And then you can look at here, some of these kind of repeat. Home versus home author, they're the same. But it gives you all sorts of cool stuff. And there's a million different versions you can look at within these things. They can get super sorted or just kind of easy, you know. Well, no one's looked at this in 2 weeks, or this number of people have looked at this in the last couple of days. If you need help setting this up for one site or all your sites, no problem. It's some pretty cool data and can be quite useful.